And good morning from Reese Smith Jr. Field on the Middle Tennessee campus. It is Championship Friday at Spring Fling 2017. Chip Walters along with Mike Keith here for the first two games. Willie Donick will join the crew this afternoon for our AAA state championship game. Two titles went in the books yesterday, and Mike, today looks like we've got a good weather day, and this is quite an interesting matchup in this first one as Goodpasture will take on Loretto, and it is because of circumstances and how the two teams have gotten to today's championship games. Bit of a David and Goliath story.
It's going to turn out that way, even though the records are very similar between the two teams. Loretto was able to beat Gordonsville after knocking off Greenback and Huntington, so they have had a 3-0 path to the championship game. Goodpasture beat Peabody in Summertown, but yesterday lost to Trenton Peabody and then had to come back and throw their ace, Wyatt Blessing, to win to advance to this game. So Blessing, 12-0 on the season, thought to be matched up with Ryan Weathers today. Instead, Goodpasture going to have to go with a youngster in Quentin McLaughlin, and Ryan Weathers ready to go. Maybe the best junior in the state, certainly one of the top juniors in the nation as a pitcher and as a position player.
Yeah, you take a look at Ryan Weathers as he warms up. He is his dad, David Weathers, longtime major leaguer. Ryan Weathers, when he's not pitching, plays center field with that big a frame and can go get them. But he is easily upper 80s, low 90s, can hit 94. But he is just a load to deal with. Coming from the left side, and he is athletic, he is strong, and he, in his only outing so far in the state tournament on the opening day, threw a one-hitter in 7 innings, striking out 16. So 16 of the 21 outs he got were by strikeout. He has thrown 78 pitches, which allows him to have 70-plus today due to the TSSAA pitching rules. So, I mean, if he is efficient, Loretto has a chance to ride this horse all the way.
3-pitch pitcher, fastball in the low 90s, also a breaking ball and a change, and he throws everything for a strike. You would think with his dad being a major leaguer and the fact that he spent time around great teachers in dugouts, he understands the game, he understands how to pitch, and he knows he's got to hit the strike zone.
We are underway. First pitch is inside, and it got there in a hurry. Jacob Seals will lead things off for Goodpasture. Seals swings and misses at a fastball. This will be his first trip to the plate in the state tournament, and he playing center field is being pressed into duty today. The 1-1 is low. It's 2-1. And Weathers to the plate. Strike on the inside corner as called by our home plate umpire, Eddie Pye, who is quite familiar to Reese Smith Field. I'll tell you that in a moment. 2-2 pitch here, swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Jacob Seals. And we got our first taste of what Ryan Weathers can bring when he rears back and brings it.
Works quickly, and he's around the plate with everything, which makes it difficult on a hitter because you can't just stand there and take due to the fact that you're terrified of getting behind this outstanding left-hander.
Now David Wilson, the second baseman. Wilson, for the first time today, hitting .273 in the state tournament.
I think one of the keys for Goodpasture is they've got to have a great eye. They want to work deep into counts. They want to try to put some wear on Weathers. Hopefully, maybe he can't go the entire 7 innings.
Well, and that is, as good as he has been this year, here in the state tournament in particular, that is the one way to get to him is to make him throw more pitches. High outside strike there.
You're talking about a pitcher that over the last 2 years, in the 16 and the 17 season, in helping Loretto get to the state tournament both years, has allowed a grand total of 6 earned runs.
King with the play. At second makes the nice throw, and 2 up, 2 down. And the thing is, sometimes as a defense, when you cruise along and have a guy that's as dominant on the mound, all of a sudden somebody actually puts a ball in play. You've got to be able to react.
That's exactly right, because you're talking about a guy who, struck out 16 guys in Tuesday's game. You tend to stand there and wait, and you can get lulled to sleep. That was a difficult play, but King, to his right, fielded it cleanly and made an accurate throw to Laws.
Cole Carter is 6 for 14 during the state tournament. Here finds himself in an 0-2 hole.
Carter has been a hot hitter for a while. One of the guys who has propelled Goodpasture to this point. Goodpasture in their 19th state tournament, looking for their 9th all-time state title.
They have the overall experience, but Loretto has been the one here 2 years in a row. And talking to Coach Lamb earlier, said that he really felt like that the vision for what this team could be really took shape in last year's state tournament, because the mentality of this group came around to being, we belong here. All third strike, and down goes Cole Carter, and 2 strikeouts for David Weathers. I say David Weathers, Ryan Weathers. That will not be the last time that happens today. But in the inning, no runs, hits, or errors, nobody left. We'll run through the starting lineups for you. You saw Seals, Wilson, and Carter playing center, second, and catcher for Goodpasture. That's the top third of their order. Gage Gregory is batting fourth, plays first base. Wyatt Blessing, the 5-hole, plays left. Joel Littlepage, the shortstop. Then Seth Pentecost, the designated hitter, will bat seventh. Ryan Lyle bats eighth, plays third. And Zach Wallace will bat in the 9-hole and play right field. For Loretto, Ryan Weathers not only pitching but is leading off today. He is followed by Jacob Hallmark at short, Kendall Franklin in center field. Jacob Laws bats cleanup. He is the first baseman. Lane Dryden in left bats fifth. Blade Tidwell, the third baseman, bats sixth. Paul Drew King, the fourth, will be the second baseman and batting seventh. Jake Jackson catching and batting eighth, and Jacob James is batting ninth and playing the number 9 position out in right field. And so Loretto will be facing Quentin McLaughlin, and the story on him, Mike, is we go from tons of experience on the mound to start games to 0.
He does not have experience as a starter this year, but he's been effective in a relief role. And it seems as though one of the reasons that Jim Carter, the Goodpasture coach, turns to him is he is a different sort of left-hander, unique motion at 5'9", 156 pounds, and he's got a very calm, cool demeanor. He's just got to go as far as he can. The problem he has, he's going to face the best hitter that Loretto has to offer in the leadoff man.
Yep. Ryan Weathers will lead it off. Weathers hitting .800 in the state tournament. First pitch to him, an outside strike, and it's 0-1.
He is a Vanderbilt commitment, and even though his pitching is outstanding, most people think he's got a chance, if he does go to college, to be a two-way player due to the fact that he has so much athleticism and hits with such outstanding power. He does have 2 home runs in the state tournament.
That one's upstairs. It's 2-1. Just a bit overcast today and expecting the clouds to clear, but really great weather conditions for this state tournament championship game. Outside for a ball, it's 3-1 as Weathers works the count on McLaughlin. 3-1 delivery. Strike called, as you will hear and see that they turned out the lights in Loretto and came up from Lawrence County. There's a huge Mustang crowd here, and there Weathers works a walk. Obviously first of the day. That'll bring up Jacob Hallmark. Hallmark hitting .583. He is 7 for 12 here in the state tournament. Pitch inside as McLaughlin now has to work from the stretch. But as a reliever, you would expect him to be accustomed to that.
I wouldn't think that's a problem at all. He needs an out badly, though, just to get in a flow. As a first-time starter in this big a game, if you're McLaughlin, you're thinking, okay, I just need some rhythm. A bouncing ball right here for a 6-4-3 double play would be an ultimate gift to begin.
Strike called, and it's 2-1. Weathers gets a lead at first. And inside it comes. Took something off of that, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Hallmark figures to see a good pitch to hit here. One wonders if Weathers is in motion.
Upstairs, ball 4, so back-to-back walks to start the game for McLaughlin. And a little meeting on the mound here, try to get him settled down.
Goodpasture does have several other options who can come in and throw, but there's no question that Coach Carter and the Cougars are going to have to piece something together today, as they just don't have that obvious starter to give them a lot of work. They need McLaughlin to get some outs.
Yep, and you've got to have somebody to eat some innings, and that's what they want out of him right off the bat. But off to a tough start, and Loretto, just by taking pitches, is now applying the pressure. Kendall Franklin, the center fielder, with Weathers at second and Hallmark at first, and a strike called. Kendall Franklin looks to bunt, lays it down, fielded by McLaughlin, and the throw to first is just in time. So the sacrifice worked to perfection there, and a nice bunt laid down by Franklin. Sacrifice 1-3, and runners at second and third. So Coach Lamb playing to get a couple of runs early. You've got him at second and third and just 1 out. And your big bopper, Jacob Laws, at the plate. Left-handed hitter takes a strike.
Going to be a Lion at the University of North Alabama, 6'8". Also pitches. He is a big, big man, obviously.
Kind of Randy Johnson-esque when he lets go of it. Showed bunt for a moment and then pulled it back. Count even at a ball and 1 strike.
Well, they want to get Ryan Weathers ahead.
Yeah.
They want, he's on third right now. They want him to touch the dish. They want to play from in front very quickly to put the pressure on Goodpasture.
On a rocket of a foul ball down the first baseline. So it's 1-2.
Cannot hang a breaking ball if you're McLaughlin.
Laws hitting .273 in the state tournament. He's driven in 4. Has a chance to drive in 2 more here, and another foul ball.
This is a program that Gary Lamb has put together. Loretto always had good baseball, but they've taken it to a very different level under Coach Lamb.
The 1-2 hit down the line and foul the other way. That one into the bullpen. This is one big cat right here.
Outfield playing him very shallow, a massive gap in left center.
Bounces one, taken by the second baseman. A run will score as Weathers comes in to touch the plate, but a ground ball to the right side. You'll take that.
Good play on both sides. I think in both dugouts you're celebrating that, because if you're Loretto, you like the fact that you're ahead 1-0, and it's a smart piece of hitting by Laws to get it to the right side. If you're Goodpasture, you're glad to get an out.
Now you're an out away from getting out of any more trouble with Lane Dryden at the plate. Dryden, the left fielder. Dryden hitting .364 during the state tournament. 1-0 upstairs. I'll tell you, for these guys in particular, you know, Loretto has, by their play, has taken the short road to this title game. Goodpasture has had to battle back, and that is absolutely part of it. Is the when you get to this day, how much gas is left in the tank, not only from your pitching staff but from your everyday players. You are playing on adrenaline for a while, but just because you're in this situation. But Loretto has a big advantage coming into this game. 3-1, line foul.
100% right, Chip, because it's a physical drain, but most of these guys are used to that, playing on these summer league teams, these travel teams. They, play 4 to 6 games in a weekend at times, but the mental stress of all of it. You're playing for a state championship. It's hard.
Strike 3 called, and McLaughlin gets out of trouble as he strikes out Dryden, and that was a very nice piece of pitching. In the inning, though, for Loretto, there was a run on no hits. One man left on base and no errors by Goodpasture. We've played one complete in this Class A championship game. Back to Murfreesboro after this.
This game is brought to you by Under Armour, maker of the world's best apparel, footwear, and accessories. Check out the full line of performance gear now at UA.com. Under Armour, I will. This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
Pasta lovers, raise your forks. It's Olive Garden's never-ending Pasta Bowl starting at $9.99. Enjoy endless combinations of your favorite pastas, sauce.
Back at Reese Smith Field, Class A championship game. And, Mike, we've seen both of these teams both in the field, on the mound, and at the plate so far.
Accomplished their goals both ways. Goodpasture got outs, did not give up a big first inning to Loretto, but Loretto gets the lead, and now Ryan Weathers in frame number 2 has the advantage.
Swing and a miss there as he brought the heat. Gage Gregory is the hitter. Weathers struck out 2 of the 3 batters he faced. Here's a bouncer to the mound. Weathers feels his position and throws him out 1-3.
Even for all the strikeouts, and Weathers already has 2, those easy bouncing balls and low counts are big for him because he did throw 78 pitches on Tuesday. Not take the rules aside about the 75-pitch rule. They're not going to abuse him, especially with his dad as the pitching coach.
Yep, strike called on Wyatt Blessing. 1 strike pitch here, swing and a miss. And Mike, we were going through the lineups today, and you think there are a lot of times we see kids who have names that are very appropriate for their school or team. Goodpasture Christian School has a man named Blessing on their team, and also Pentecost in the lineup. And now he goes down on 3 strikes there. Not a blessing as far as the result, but that is the 3rd strikeout for Weathers. And that'll bring up Joel Littlepage.
Littlepage has had a good tournament to this point with 5 hits and 13 at-bats.
Strike call there. Mentioned Eddie Pye. Eddie played on this field for Middle Tennessee as a shortstop and eventually made his way to Tinseltown as a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers and had a cup of coffee in the big leagues, a longtime minor leaguer in Albuquerque for the Dukes at the time, were the AAA farm club of the Dodgers, and has since, when he got out of baseball, came back, lived here in Murfreesboro ever since, and keeps his toe wet by umpiring now.
Love to see guys who were solid former players now in blue.
Wow. Down on strikes as Little Page could not handle the high fastball. So 2 strikeouts in the inning again, and 4 for the game for Weathers.
And only 9 pitches.
Yeah.
You know, that's the big part of that, a 3-pitch strikeout, a 4-pitch strikeout, and then a bouncing ball on the second offering to Gregory. That's exactly what Loretto wants to get from Ryan Weathers. And I'm so impressed that you say Loretto. Being a Murray County guy, the way that you are doing so much better than I am. Because if you grew up at
Loretto,
to me, it's Loretto.
Yeah.
That's how they were in our district. We played them, and so that's how we always said it. But kind of explain to the people watching who maybe don't know exactly where that is, Chip.
Well,
where is Loretto?
It's where my mother was born,
okay.
As a matter of fact.
Right.
Full disclosure, it is in South Lawrence County, right along the Tennessee-Alabama line.
Could we say it's north of Leoma?
Leoma?
Yeah.
I think it's just south
just
of Leoma.
South of Leoma, that's
Yep.
right.
And you have, as you come down from the north, you out of Murray County into Lawrence County, you have Etheridge, Lawrenceburg, Leoma, and then Loretto, or Loretta, as they like.
Loretta, as I am saying, which is not technically correct.
My mother was actually born in one of the outskirts of Loretto, Rascaltown, and those in Lawrence County who may be watching would understand that. But it is the closest big town for them is Florence, and University of North Alabama has a big influence there. There's a pitch tomahawk foul by Blade Tidwell, who leads off the second inning.
No, we still don't have a hit in this game.
That's correct. We know where Loretto is. Goodpasture is in Madison, Tennessee, on the north side of Nashville. We have a hit now. To left field, Tidwell goes. And for the second straight inning, Loretto has the leadoff man on.
The Mustangs have hitters up and down this lineup. And when you talk about Lawrence County baseball, the youth baseball there is so fantastic. They actually broadcast youth baseball on the radio down there because they generally advance so far every summer.
Well, you look down in that, having grown up in that part of the state, Columbia, Lawrenceburg, Lewisburg, all with outstanding, Tullahoma with, out there, really good baseball towns. There's a pitch that gets in the dirt, and it allowed Tidwell to take advantage of it and move to second.
Well, and go even a little further north, Spring Hill,
yeah.
The defending state champions eliminated in Double-A, got off to a 28-0 start this year in trying to repeat.
Pitch upstairs, and it's 2-1. And I tell you, you talk about a tough district. Spring Hill and CPA in the same district.
In the same district.
And had terrific battles this year. 2-1. Hit high to the right side. On the run goes Wallace, and able to recover. Runner tags Tidwell into third easily. Good bit of base running there and awareness as Paul Drew King IV flies out to right.
How good to this point has Loretto been in terms of their base running, the things that they've done? They got a run in the first inning without a hit, and then Tidwell taking second on the ball in the dirt, smart enough to tag and go to third, and now Goodpasture having to play their infield in already in the second.
The batter is Jake Jackson. Well, what they've done is they've just been solid with everything you're supposed to do from a fundamental standpoint and have themselves in a position here with one out and a runner at third to extend the lead. Lay down the bunt. Runner was coming. They're going to be a play at first, and they get there. No, they say he pulled his foot. Everybody's going to be safe.
He neither tagged him nor had his foot on the bag.
Yep. He was searching for the bag, and in the process, missed the tag. And we're going to have a courtesy runner here.
As Jackson, the catcher, does his job getting the bunt down. It'll be scored a sacrifice, but there'll be an error charged to the second baseman, Wilson, who did not have his foot on the bag. And the umpire in that situation, James Purnell, had a great look at it. He knew exactly what he was looking for.
So 2-0 Loretto, and Jacob James, the right fielder. Strike call there.
Maybe as importantly for Goodpasture, Chip, not getting an out.
Yeah.
Not getting the free out, because still just one out in the inning and a chance for the Mustangs to add more.
Sliced foul, and, you know, it sounds simple, but when a team tries to give you an out, you better take it.
In this situation especially, yeah. When you're having to string together your pitching. And let's give credit to McLaughlin. He's doing a nice job. Outside of the 2 walks to begin, he has shown that poise. He's been in the area and has calmed down and keeping them very much in the ball game.
Yep, absolutely. 1 ball and 2 strikes on James. Can he finish him off? Bouncing ball over the mound, taken by the shortstop, and the throw there is good. Nice job by Littlepage, backing up McLaughlin, charging the ball and making the throw across.
May I make a suggestion here?
Yes.
I think you just walk Ryan Weathers and be done with it.
And they just did. And in high school, you get the intentional walk without having to throw to him, and a courtesy runner coming here as well for Loretto, and that's Evan Morgan.
It's one of the reasons that they hit Ryan Weathers first, is so he gets on base so much they can go ahead and have him sit down, and if he's pitching, then he gets a chance to take a break. In the first inning, they chose not to do that because they're playing for the state championship, but now with a 2-0 lead, smart.
Batter now Hallmark for the second time. He was one of those 2 walks to start the game, and he takes a ball here. First and second, 2 outs. Bottom of inning number 2. McLaughlin deals and a strike call.
If you're Hallmark, I'm not sure that you're not even taking right here. You want to work ahead if you possibly can and try to extend McLaughlin, the young pitcher.
1-1 in the dirt, and the runners will advance. Again, a heads-up play. Throw down is not in time, and amazingly, Carter actually had an opportunity as the Morgan, the courtesy runner, got a bit of a late start.
He broke late. You're exactly right. A good throw, and I think Morgan's out at second, but it's tough on Carter trying to manage the young pitcher.
Here's another wild pitch, and a run comes home. Scoring is Jason Sharpton, the courtesy runner, for Jackson, the catcher, and it is 3-0 as McLaughlin uncorks back-to-back wild pitches.
Like Sharpton right there. What hustle on his part. Immediately saw the ball got by, sprinted home. There was no play at all, and that's another free run as Loretto has 3 runs still on just 1 hit.
Outside, and the ball 4 to Hallmark puts him on. That will be the 3rd walk given up by McLaughlin. And it's 1st and 3rd. And that'll bring up Kendall Franklin. Well, that's the 4th walk. Actually, 1 is intentional. Franklin takes a strike.
Does Gary Lamb put something in play right here with Hallmark at first to try to rattle the young pitcher and to get the man at third base, Morgan, home?
Sharply hit ground ball to third. Well played by Lyle. And that will get McLaughlin out of trouble here in the second inning of play. 5-3 on the putout, but in the inning there were 2 runs on 1 hit. There were 2 men left on base, and there was 1 error in the inning. So we have played 2 complete, 3-0 Loretto leading in the Class A championship game on the NFHS network.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who's in the gym every dang day. Patriots say I'm the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
But doesn't matter. Still counts.
Top of the third here at Reese Smith Field. Seth Pentecost, Ryan Lyle, and Zach Wallace. The bottom third of the Goodpasture order to face Ryan Weathers. Weathers has faced the minimum so far and has struck out 4 of the 6 batters he has faced, and he starts Pentecost off with a strike. Swing and a miss there. You know, when you watch Weathers pitch, you think about Crash Davis's line in Bull Durham when he tells Nuke LaLoosh that God put a thunderbolt in your arm, and he certainly has with Weathers as Pentecost goes down on 3 pitches.
Yes, but he also said strikeouts are fascist. And Ryan Weathers doesn't seem to be listening to that advice.
No, I think he likes them. Ryan Lyle takes a strike, and I'll tell you another thing I like about Weathers, and obviously we've not seen him in any trouble today whatsoever, but he works quickly, which means his defense, even though they get limited opportunities because he does strike out so many, they play up on the balls of their feet. They're not back resting.
100% right. And I think there's a reason for that, and that is that Ryan Weathers is a pitcher who's a baseball player. He's not a pitcher who is just a pitcher. And he understands the game, he plays the game, and he's going at it like that.
Strike called on the inside corner, and that was an unhittable pitch. Inside and low right at the knees. That was just
nasty.
Nasty. You're exactly right. I was trying to find a nice word.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you there, but all I could think is that is just nasty.
Now Zach Wallace takes the ball, talking to some folks who see a ton of high school baseball, and they say that Ryan Weathers is the best player they've seen in the last couple of years in Tennessee.
Well, he's been a well-known prospect since before he got to high school. He committed to Vanderbilt last summer, but, I mean, he's had, teams involved with him since before he threw his first pitch as a Loretto Mustang.
Strike called. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Will Weathers strike out the side here in the third? Not yet.
Went over the top to try to get Wallace. Wallace is a guy who had 17 strikeouts of his own on May 11th against Gordonsville. So he can appreciate it, even though he didn't appreciate that pitch.
Wallace strikes out swinging on a sinker there, and that is strikeout number 7 for Ryan Weathers. And in the inning, no runs, hits, or errors, nobody left. After 2.5, 3-0 Loretto with the lead. And right now, Weathers, obviously he is the huge storyline in this game, Mike. He is just cruising right now.
He's absolutely cruising, and this is what was the kind of the nightmare scenario for Goodpasture, which is why they tried to set it at the start. They wanted to have Wyatt Blessing, their pitcher, 12-0 on the season, available for this game to try to match him frame for frame. And unfortunately, because of the loss to Peabody, they had to throw him just to get here. So Blessing, who got him home in the afternoon game yesterday in the win for Goodpasture, not available to pitch, playing left field today. And McLaughlin, the sophomore, doing the best he can out there. I think the only problem with him so far has been the 4 walks, one of them intentional. Otherwise, he's hanging right in there, but falling behind was the problem for Goodpasture to this point.
Yeah, and your hope, if you were the Goodpasture coaching staff, Jim Carter and his crew, that you would catch Weathers on a day where he might not be at his best. He had not pitched on 2 days rest at any point this season, so this was going to be a first shot at that. And now on the other side of things, if you're Gary Lamb, you take advantage that your horse is pitching well and build a lead, so if he does get to a point where you have to go to your bullpen, that you're in a good spot. Jacob Laws leads off the bottom of the third. Laws grounded to second, but drove in a run with that ground ball out, his only other time up.
I really like how Lamb's coached, though. After the back-to-back walks in the first, one would have thought, play for the big inning. Instead, he played immediately for the lead and for the advantage, which just shows you he's saying, nope, we're not taking anything for granted. What if Ryan Weathers doesn't have his best stuff? What if something goes wrong? Let's get the lead and put the pressure on the sophomore pitcher and on the Goodpasture Cougars, and it's paying off so far.
Yeah. To see, to that point, they're laying down bunts in the first inning to get that first run across.
It's good baseball.
2-2. Strike 3 called, and a nice pitch on the outside part of the plate by McLaughlin, and down goes Laws.
Well, I think if you're Jim Carter, you're seeing something out of McLaughlin, not just for today, but for the future. To take the baseball on May the 26th in a state championship game and to do what he's doing, pretty doggone impressive, and you got 2 more years of this youngster.
Starts off Dryden with a strike and then a pop-up on the infield. Second baseman Wilson has it for out number 2. And what Goodpasture is needing here in this third inning, to be quite honest, is an inning where there is no excitement to get through one and get your feet back on the ground. That'll bring up Tidwell.
I'm sorry, because what you know going to the fourth is your hitters are going to get to see Weathers for the second time.
Yep.
And if you're going to have a chance, that has to be a big advantage.
Ball hit high and deep by Tidwell and ran down by Seals. And for the first time today, a 1-2-3 inning for the Loretto Mustangs. In the inning, no runs, hits, or errors, nobody left. 3 in the books here in Murfreesboro. It is Loretto 3, Goodpasture nothing. Back with more in a moment from the Borough.
This is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Three 3-0 after 3 innings here in Murfreesboro. 3 runs on only 1 hit for Loretto. No runs on no hits for Goodpasture. And as we head to the 4th to take you through the middle innings, my pal Mike Keith.
Top of the order for Goodpasture Chip Walters. It'll be Jacob Seals, David Wilson, and Cole Carter. If anybody reaches against Ryan Weathers, Gage Gregory will get a turn. Seals was a strikeout victim to open. First time through the order, 7 of the 9 Cougars strikeout victims to Weathers. He's dealing.
Indeed.
That is all we can say is he is dealing. He's in a rhythm. It's just rock and fire. Popped up. Second baseman, King, fighting the sun, makes the catch. Well done by King.
It was, and we talked about the clouds dissipating, and really in about a matter of 15 minutes, we went from overcast to beautiful blue sky and expecting mid to upper 80s here today. The heat expected to be turned up in what is the traditional, if not literal, beginning of summer weekend.
Most kids got out of school Wednesday or Thursday of this week, yesterday. As here's David Wilson. He bounced to second. Nice play by King to get him back in the first. Overhand breaking ball, just wicked. So hard on those right-hand hitters.
Coming down and in at you.
Nice job by Wilson trying to reach out and go the other way. And I think that's what Coach Carter is going to encourage these guys to do. The right-hand hitters especially, try to go the opposite way. It's your best chance.
Well, especially if you can do that with the fastball, because that's really your only chance.
Tidwell, the talented youngster, throws him out. So here's Carter. Mentioned Carter has 5 hits in the tournament to this point. He is their best source of power overall. Goodpasture does not have a home run in the state tournament yet. That ball is roped to left center, and Carter stays hot. He's got 1, and he takes a wide turn, but a good job by Franklin to get it in quickly. That ends up being a loud single, but a needed single. Not just from the base runner standpoint, but from the mental standpoint, as Weathers had been dominating the Cougars until right now.
And to break through and get that first hit, is what they've been waiting on. And a courtesy runner is Jordan for Carter. And, the thing is, 2 things really good happened on that play. One was Carter got a solid hit that appeared, when it came off the bat, looked like to me it was going to be extra bases. A terrific job by Franklin getting in behind that ball and fielding it and holding Carter to a long single. Now they've got the runner.
Jordan is picked. So just like that, the no-hitter goes away, but Weathers has still faced the minimum through 4. Halfway home at Reese Smith Jr. Field, it remains 3-0. Loretto leading Goodpasture. Do you think the runner was going there, or did he just get bamboozled by the move?
I think he just got frozen by the move. I don't think he was going anywhere.
Let's talk about Goodpasture for a second, though. Seals with a pop-up, Wilson with a ground out to third, Carter with a sharp and long single to left center. No strikeouts in the inning. We mentioned second time through the order. Goodpasture, not a bunch of rookies, not a program without tradition. They're going to battle, and I think we saw it there in the top of the 4th.
I think you're right, and Jim Carter is an excellent high school baseball coach, and the really good coaches you talk to, they talk about the game being a game of adjustments, and not only are you adjusting from one year to the next or one game to the next, it literally comes down from pitch to pitch, what kind of adjustments you can make against the guy you're facing on the mound. And again, obviously not getting a ton of results yet, but we've seen results as far as Goodpasture being well schooled and now coming back, making the adjustment, on Weathers and making contact.
Trying to stay in this thing, Goodpasture. And the young pitcher, Quentin McLaughlin, who has taken the baseball and held in there rather nicely through the first 3 frames. He's trying to keep his team close and will do so against the bottom third of the Mustang order. Paul Drew King, the fourth. The second baseman, Jake Jackson and Jacob James, will be the men that he will be scheduled to face this inning. Single A state championship game. Carter going to go out and say something to the sophomore.
Do you think getting into the 4th inning with McLaughlin is a bonus?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. I think you're hoping on the front end, if you're Coach Carter, to get 3 and then start piecing from there. But now he's got to hold it in the road. He cannot let Loretto get further ahead. You wonder if some of the adrenaline wears off for McLaughlin a little bit and he starts to tire in this situation.
Not there.
Loretto going to be a team not going to take anything for granted. First state tournament appearance last year, they were eliminated by Scotts Hill. Fly ball to left, Dryden with the catch. Correction, Blessing with the catch. 1 down. Scotts Hill eliminated them last year. Loretto took it really, really hard, battled through a very good regular season. In the regional semifinal, they had Cornersville 7-1. They were just rolling, and then all of a sudden they gave up 8 straight runs. Cornersville on the verge of knocking them off as Jackson fouls that off. And they come back to win 10-9, and since then, Loretto has just been a machine, beating Summertown, beating Eagleville in the sectional, and having a good week here at the state tournament.
Ryan Weathers he is already making history. He is 2 strikeouts away from tying Patrick Raby with the most strikeouts ever in a state tournament. He is 1 away from tying a guy you may have heard of, R.A. Dickey.
James will be up after Jackson pops out to second. Nice play by Wilson there to battle the sun, and very quietly, 6 in a row retired by McLaughlin.
Yep, he is not overpowering anybody, but he's doing exactly what you said. He's holding it in the road, keeping it out of the ditches right now, and just eating some outs.
As we brag on him, he gives up his second hit as James, with a sharp single down the right field line, Wallace does a great job to get it back in. The problem with this, however, for McLaughlin is it brings up Weathers and the top of the order. Weathers, with 2 walks in the bowl game so far, really hasn't seen anything to hit. And in this situation, you got to pitch to him.
Well, you do, unless you really want to go unorthodox, but I don't see that happening. And as you mentioned, Weathers has 2 home runs in the state tournament. We talked about Weathers on the mound. He had 16 strikeouts against Greenback on Tuesday. He has 7 already today, so 23 for the state tournament.
Ball roped to left field. Long run there. Blessing is able to get it on 1 hop. James on his way to third. Weathers hustles to second. Excellent base running by Weathers. And we're going to get a courtesy runner for Weathers. It will again be Evan Morgan.
And Weathers has been on base all 3 times. And right now, with 2 out in the inning, This is a big point in this ball game. This is a tipping point. If McLaughlin can get an out here, Goodpasture's still in a good spot. If Hallmark comes up with a hit, all of a sudden it goes to what we would call in basketball a two-possession game.
Yeah, absolutely. They are not going to walk Hallmark, who has walked twice, at least not intentionally. Fouled it back. Loretto, 3. Goodpasture, nothing. Bottom of the 4th inning. Hallmark with a good eye. The shortstop, Jacob Hallmark. Just a junior.
Ooh, nice pitch.
Slow curve dropped right in there.
Willie and I may have seen the slowest curve of the tournament yesterday. It was truly a slurve.
Big strikeout for McLaughlin. This young man has shown some moxie today. Leaves 2 in scoring position, and it remains Loretto 3, Goodpasture nothing.
This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Quentin McLaughlin striking out Jacob Hallmark, a Loretto Mustang who had 7 hits already in the state tournament with runners in scoring position, keeping Goodpasture in it as we go to the top half of the 5th inning. Gage Gregory at the plate when Kennedy Jordan was picked off by Ryan Weathers to end the 4th. 45th pitch of the game for Weathers.
Cole Carter broke up the no-hitter, but still Weathers has faced the minimum.
At this point, Weathers tracking pitch-wise to where he should have enough gas to finish.
Well, he's gone 2-1 here, and you're seeing him with a little body language on the mound, trying to make sure that left shoulder is loose.
Comes back with something off speed. Gregory takes on the outside corner. It's 2-2. Gregory, Blessing, and Littlepage, 4, 5, and 6 in the Goodpasture order here. Rope to center, base knock. So again, the trend continues. The second time through, none of the Goodpasture hitters have struck out. After the first time through, 7 of the 9 Cougars who faced Weathers whiffed. Here's Blessing. He was a strikeout victim.
And Weathers has given up back-to-back hits now. Last batter he faced in the 4th, and first batter he has faced here in the 5th.
Not much of a lead at first for Gregory as Blessing takes a strike.
Well, they may have learned their lesson losing a base runner.
There's your breaking ball.
Well, yeah, what are you going to do with it?
Wyatt Blessing on his way to Cumberland to play for the incomparable Woody Hunt.
He's won a game or two.
3-time national champions as Blessing strikes out.
All right, that ties David Weathers with R.A. Dickey for second all-time in strikeouts in a state tournament with 24.
Patrick Raby of Farragut, who pitches so well for Vanderbilt, is the next man on the list, as Littlepage doesn't want to be the record tire. He's the man at the plate. Weathers trying to get back in a groove. Hard to say a guy who's given up 2 hits lost his mojo for a second. Kind of, sort of. Little nubber, going to be a tough play. 6-4, and they do not get Littlepage at first.
Boy, that was a nice pickup and a terrific turn at second. And again, when the play began, you saw that ball flutter a little bit off the bat with some backspin, and you're thinking, well, that thing, he's never going to have a chance at first, and they'll be lucky at second. And it turns out they got the runner at second pretty easily and really had a legit shot at first.
They really did. It overwhelms you how fundamentally sound Loretto is. And that's what we have seen throughout the tournament, and that's what we've seen today. They just don't make mistakes. They just don't give you an opening. Didn't mean to. Pentecost, fielded by Weathers. He threw it away. They finally made a mistake. Littlepage on his way to third. Pentecost to first. Weathers may have hurt himself on the play, too, as he fell backward.
Well, I think if Weathers had the opportunity, he would like to have that throw back, because he just flipped it back over his left shoulder backwards, a blind throw toward first, and not a smart play there. And Coach Lamb is going to go talk to Ryan Weathers just to see what his medical situation is.
He talks to Eddie Pye and the discussion, too, with Jim Carter, because this is not going to be charged as a visit. This is I guess you'd say it's a medical check. Is it a hamstring? That's what you worry about in this situation if you're Loretto. Now, here you're Goodpasture, and you're in this game in the top of the 5th, down 3-0. A base hit at this point by Lyle could make it 3-2. This is the chance you wanted if you were the Cougars. In a game where you were going to be an underdog because of the pitching situation, you have done what you wanted to do, and that's given yourself life.
Absolutely, and Goodpasture's going to bring, I think his name is Jordan.
They're going with Kennedy Jordan to run for Pentecost, the DH. And so here's Lyle, struck out looking his first time.
Now, is Jordan a pinch runner or a courtesy runner?
He was introduced as a pinch runner.
Correct. Which, if that's the case, that means Pentecost is done.
Ryan Lyle looking for his first hit of the state tournament. And what a hit it would be. A 1-1 count. Laws. Inning over. Weathers made a mistake, but got himself out of trouble with another good pitch. Goodpasture threatens, but still unable to tally, as each team with 3 hits in this game. And I would guess that Coach Carter is going to send McLaughlin back out for a 5th inning. Why would you take him out?
Why you would not, right at this point. I think you're going to, he hasn't gotten in any deeper trouble, but it's as we look down the right field line, they're sending Camden Angel. Maybe he's just going to stay loose or whatever. Yep, he's loosening up that leg, and you want to have somebody ready just in case, because you have been fortunate to keep it at 3-0.
He has thrown a goodly number of pitches, however, 72 through 4 innings. And for a guy who's not used to going this far, you worry that if he tires, it could go wrong in a hurry. So you've got to be alert to that, but to have given up only 3 hits and 3 runs and not all of them earned, I mean, a well-done performance to this point.
He has given Jim Carter about everything he could hope for, and quite honestly, in my opinion, has gotten better as the game has gone along.
Jim Carter, who took over this program coming from Mount Juliet, and it is a program baseball-wise that has as much tradition as really anybody in the state. Franklin bunting. They're going to discuss this.
He may have been out of the box.
That's what I'm wondering, too. Pye and Purnell going to talk about it for a second, as whatever happened with Kendall Franklin trying to bunt, he didn't run.
Foul ball.
Foul ball.
They were checking to see if, and just reading Eddie Pye's body language, that he wanted to check to see if he was out of the box because the ball was fouled off of him. If that was the case, he would have been out.
I like the fact that Pye immediately asks for help. Let's get it right. Playing for the state championship. Wow. Slice to deep center. Going back is Seals, and he makes the catch.
Franklin hit that ball well, and the one thing that Goodpasture does, and you talk about things that travel well, is they are one of the tightest defensive teams that you're going to see in this entire state tournament. That is their strength.
Laws has an RBI on a ground out. He was also a strikeout victim. 3 strikeouts total for McLaughlin. Woo, nearly got him. Laws has a base hit. 4th safety of the game for the Mustang.
Well, we've also seen terrific contact on back-to-back hitters now, and you wonder, is that Gage getting down into that little orange area toward the right? That was a sharp, sharp single.
Going to have a runner for Laws in this situation. It's going to be Sky McNatt. McNatt for Laws. As with 1 out in the inning, Gary Lamb sees a chance to try to expand this lead. And with the way Goodpasture has threatened, he feels like he needs it. This is Dryden. McLaughlin, 4 1/3 innings to this point. The surprise starter. We found out he was going to go last night. I wonder when he found out he was going to go. Certainly not his best move to first there.
Nope, not even close.
Dryden, 4 hits in the tournament, going to be stuck there. 2 outs. State champions already crowned. Division II yesterday, Class A. ECS a 9-1 win over USJ. Division II, Class AA. Brentwood Academy and Buddy Alexander winning their 5th state title as they knock off McCallie 6-5. Ball's hit to center, and coming on to make the catch is Seals. So Tidwell flies out to Seals, and again, McLaughlin keeping Goodpasture right in the middle of this thing. 5 in the books. It remains Mustangs 3, Cougars nothing.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark.
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Two frames remain in this state championship game with Goodpasture trailing Loretto 3-0. Here to take you the rest of the way, Chip Walters.
Thank you very much, Michael. And we had pinch runners, courtesy runners, but everybody is back defensively exactly as they were for Loretto. And we saw Gary Lamb talking with Eddie Pye again. And that is, in high school baseball, that is one of the more confusing things as far as rules are concerned, is re-entry and all of those kind of things. We head to the 6th inning, and it's the 9-1-2 hitters for Goodpasture. Zach Wallace only batting for the second time in this game. Wallace takes a strike. Again, Ryan Weathers, the Loretto pitcher, with 8 strikeouts today, 24 for the state tournament, needs one more. To tie the state tournament record. And he does, right there. Wallace goes down on strikes. That is the 9th of the day for Weathers. And we do have a pinch hitter, Caleb McNamee. He replaces Seals, who was 0 for 2 today. He takes a strike.
You wonder in this situation, he's a senior, you want to get a veteran presence in there. Is he a bunter? Is he a guy who gets hit by pitches? Is he a guy who does a good job taking a walk? You're trying to do anything to change it up just to get a base runner. And what he is right now is down 0-2.
For the state tournament record. Did not get it. Boy, stays just fair. Well played at first by Laws, and out there 3 unassisted.
Big league play. The 6'8 UNA signee, Laws, went and got it. And the first base umpire, Purnell, immediately signaling fair ball. But I don't think Weathers realized quickly enough he wasn't going to get there. Laws had to do it on his own.
And did a terrific job starting with a backhanded snag of that ball. And now David Wilson to the plate, 0 for 2, 2 ground outs. So he has made contact on Weathers both times. Weathers sitting at 9 strikeouts, swing and a miss there, and it's 1-1. And sitting tied with Patrick Raby for the all-time state tournament record of 25 strikeouts. Swing and a miss there. It's 1-2.
I hope people who are watching today realize that we are seeing not just one of the best juniors in Tennessee, but one of the best juniors in the nation.
There is the record. Strikeout number 26 for Ryan Weathers. And a quick 1-2-3, top of the 6th inning. That is his 10th strikeout today. And a 3-0 lead for Loretto as we head to the bottom of inning number 6.
Well, right now, the Mustangs know that they are 3 outs away from a state championship. But offensively, they've got to stay into it because they have just a 3-0 lead. And I'm sure that's what Gary Lamb and the staff are saying. Hey, let's add more right here. Let's think about that Cornersville game. Let's think about what happened last year in the state tournament, losing the 2 games to Scotts Hill. Let's finish this job by taking nothing for granted.
Yep, and the unfortunate thing, Drew McLaughlin's start has kind of been lost in all of this.
Yeah, this young man, I mean, to throw 5 innings and give up 4 hits against this powerful lineup, he has just been outstanding. And I think it's obviously, if they don't win, the Cougars will have the lead side story in this in him, because to take the baseball right here and do what he's done as a sophomore is remarkable.
And can he get one more inning?
Well, he's facing the bottom third of the lineup, Paul Drew King the fourth, Jake Jackson, and Jacob James. And he has almost gotten stronger as he's gone. He has certainly been around the plate. He walked 2 batters to begin, but since that time has appeared very confident and has given up only 4 hits. And he is a change-up from what you see most places. He's that left-hander with kind of an awkward delivery who's throwing at a lot of different speeds.
Starts off Paul Drew King the fourth with a pitch upstairs. PDK, as we like to call him.
PDK.
Or Quattro, one of the two. Swing and a miss there, and it's 1-1. Ooh, that one hit him in the shoulder.
Never feels good. Might feel good after a state championship win.
That's correct. King is on. First batter hit by a pitch in this game. That will bring up, let's check to see who, it's going to be Jackson.
Might be a bunt situation for him again here.
He had a sacrifice back in the second, and then the ball was misplayed. Showed bunt, the pitch outside.
The reason I said that is not only is he the catcher, and you want to stay out of the double play, but he's obviously a good bunter, as we saw earlier in the game. The other part, too, it puts pressure on McLaughlin and the Goodpasture defense.
Shows bunt, pulls it back, now tries to hit it through. This is going to be trouble. The shortstop ends up fielding it. Everybody safe. That'll be an infield hit for Jackson. He did a terrific job pulling back the bat and then just getting some contact over the head of the charging third baseman, forcing Littlepage, the shortstop, to make the play.
Slash play. And the ball itself was not much of a slash in terms of how it was hit, but because you put the pressure on Lyle to come forward, you're in a situation where you're able to get it over his head, and now you've got James in a pretty obvious bunt situation with a chance to get 2 runners in scoring position.
And Weathers to the plate. He lays down the bunt, and it's a good one, and it will be 3-4 on the sacrifice. And will Jim Carter, yep, they're going to put him on and load him up, get the force at any base, get the double play in order.
Well, the issue here is you have to bring your infield in. You're down 3-0 in the bottom of the 6th. And Loretto with a chance to blow this game wide open.
Another pinch or courtesy runner.
So you'll have King at third. You'll have Sharpton at second, who is a courtesy runner. And now you're going to have Morgan running for Weathers again. Weathers on base in all 4 plate appearances today.
Walked 3 times, 2 of those intentional. But they're juiced up the middle, knocked down by the shortstop Littlepage to the plate, out.
What a play.
On a force play, Littlepage knocked it down, threw home, and on the fielder's choice, it is 6-2 on the putout of King.
If he doesn't stop that ball, it's 5-0. And instead, now 2 outs, you can move the infield back, and you've got a great chance to get out of the inning. The defense helping young Quentin McLaughlin.
Kendall Franklin has successfully sacrificed earlier. Here's swinging away as the pitch is in the dirt, but the play by Littlepage at short may not win Goodpasture a state championship, but it sure keeps them in the conversation for the moment.
How proud has Jim Carter got to be of his team?
Wow, they have battled today for sure. Upstairs, it's 2-0.
Yeah, this is what a championship caliber program looks like.
Strike call there at the letters. It's 2-1.
On paper, you're saying virtually no chance, and they have given themselves a chance.
Inside strike, and it's 2-2. Eddie Pye's call, much to the chagrin of the Lawrence Countyans in the ballpark. 2-2. Slice down the line. That is going to get foul. So we'll do it again as the deuces go wild. We'll reset the carousel. Bases loaded, 2 outs, a 2-2 count. Loretto leading 3-0, trying to add to that lead here. The pitch to Franklin. Upstairs, ball 3, and now we will crank up the carousel. Everybody will get a start and a jump on this. Big leads all the way around. 3-2 delivery, swing, and a foul tip. Re-rack it.
Carter mad at himself. He couldn't quite hold it.
Had an opportunity to get out of the inning now. We'll have another 3-2 pitch. Pivotal pitch in the game. 3-2. Low for ball 4. That'll bring in a run. On the 6th walk of the day by McLaughlin. 4-0.
You got Laws with nowhere to put him.
The big fella. Yeah, he is the biggest of the big fellas
he would
today.
Be the really big fella, yes.
Laws has 1 hit on the day, 1 for 3. Struck out looking last time, or in the 3rd inning, I should say. Grounded out in the 1st. Laws takes a strike, and it's 1-1.
That was the pitch he was called out on in the 3rd. He didn't like it then, and he doesn't like it now.
1-1. High fly. Chance to get out of it. That ball is going to fall harmlessly foul.
Littlepage gave it all he had. Blessing had no shot at it from left field. The only play would have been the shortstop Littlepage. He made a good run. But
Isn't it amazing how many times you see a ball that could not have been placed any better to be out of the reach of 3 converging fielders.
3 good athletes.
Yeah.
It's a great point. Got to throw him that curveball on the outside corner again, don't you?
1-2, tried to, stayed high. So 2-2. Strike 3 call, busted him inside, and down goes Laws. In the inning, a run on 1 hit, no errors, 3 big runners left. Loretto adds to their lead, and they're 3 outs away from a championship, leading 4-0 here in Murfreesboro.
Pasta lovers, raise your forks. It's Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl starting at $9.99. Enjoy endless combinations of your favorite pastas, sauces, and toppings. And now, for the first time ever, grilled chicken Alfredo. Plus, as much salad and breadsticks as you want. Never-ending value, starting at $9.99. The value is never-ending, but the offer is only for a limited time at Olive Garden.
Olive Garden delivers the final moments. Bring home Italian favorites and they'll cheer for you on game day. Olive Garden is the official dining room of high school sports, and with the new catering delivery service, you never have to miss a moment.
The Loretto Mustangs are 3 outs away from claiming their first ever state baseball championship, and riding the left arm of that man, Ryan Weathers, who has already today set a state tournament record for total strikeouts with 26, and trying to get his second complete game of this 2017 championship. First man to try to slow things down and get this train off the tracks. It's Cole Carter. Swing and a miss on 3 pitches. That is the 11th strikeout of the day for Ryan Weathers, who I think smells blood in the water right now.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and he went right at Goodpasture's best hitter, at least the best hitter in recent weeks, with all of his best stuff.
Gage Gregory fouls a pitch off. Weathers had a 16 strikeout complete game on Tuesday. Right now, an 11 strikeout day. And an 0-2 count on Gregory.
2 earned runs this season. 4 earned runs last season.
Wow. Here's the 0-2, swing and a miss. Down he goes. And you can hear this Loretto crowd as they come to their feet as Goodpasture down to their last out.
Isn't it ironic the man at the plate is Goodpasture's best pitcher?
Ground ball to short. The throw by Hallmark, and that's it. The Loretto Mustangs are your 2017 TSSAA Class A State Baseball Champions. And it is dog pile time at Reese Smith Field.
They have been a machine for the last 2 months. This is a group that has been built since they were grade schoolers in what is a great baseball county in the state of Tennessee, Lawrence County. And this is a program, state tournament a year ago, state championship this year. They have staying power. Remember, Ryan Weathers is just a junior.
That's exactly right. And, you know, Gary Lamb talked about the vision for what has paid off today began last year. He saw his program becoming a state power type program, and the rewards are being earned here this afternoon as Ryan Weathers leads Loretto to the state title 4-0.
And he threw 75 pitches total to get through the 7 innings. He allowed 3 hits, none through the first 3 innings. He allowed a hit finally to Cole Carter with 2 down in the 4th, but the courtesy runner, Kennedy Jordan, was picked off. He allowed a leadoff single to Gage Gregory in the 5th, and after his own throwing error, he had 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs, but fought back to get a pop out and end the inning, and otherwise Goodpasture not able to threaten. Still, on a day where Goodpasture had to throw a sophomore, Quentin McLaughlin, who had not started a game this year, they are right in the middle of everything, and they finish a 35-7 season, which is most impressive, and I think makes Loretto State Championship even more impressive overall. In Class A, these appeared to be the two best teams. A great win for Loretto, a great performance for the traditional power Goodpasture.
Yep, and they're bringing the water bucket to try to get Coach Gary Lamb, and they do get him. Glad they didn't do that on the dirt. Otherwise, the grounds crew would have a little diamond drive because there are 2 more games to be played here today. But that's going to wrap it up for us. We have a trophy presentation coming up for those of you who continue to watch. 4-0, Loretto gets the championship today in a very well-played game by both of these two teams, Mike.
Outstanding. Outstanding baseball here in Class A, and I think we're going to see some more coming up at 2 o'clock Central Time when CPA goes for a state championship against Christian Academy of Knoxville.
Stay tuned. Trophy presentation coming up next here on the NFHS Network. Good afternoon, everybody.
Pasta lovers, raise your forks. It's Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl starting at $9.99. Enjoy endless combinations of your favorite pastas, sauces, and toppings. And now, for the first time ever, grilled chicken Alfredo. Plus as much salad and breadsticks as you want. Never-ending value, starting at $9.99. The value is never-ending, but the offer is only for a...
And your single A class runner-up, the Cougars of Goodpasture Christian School. And now, the presentation of the champion coach's plaque. To the head coach of the Loretto Mustangs, Coach Gary Lamb. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your single A state champions, the Mustangs of Loretto High School, with a record of 34-2. Fans, again, we'd like to congratulate Ryan Weathers. 12 strikeouts, giving up only 1 hit today for a total of 28 strikeouts and 2 hits during this 2017 Spring Fling State Tournament. Once again, fans, we ask that you please do not enter the playing area. You'll wait for your players near the end of the dugout on both sides to take any photos that you would like. Please do not enter the playing area. And as you leave today, please remember to stay safe on the road. Always wear your seatbelt and never get behind the wheel after you've been drinking. If you lose it, you will lose it. This is paid for by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.